everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I apologize for my absence. I've been really under the weather lately. You know, I know I taught my granddaughters to share, but they can keep their colds to themselves, for crying out loud. I'm getting too old for this stuff. But it is a beautiful day here and in Colorado, and I thought I'd come out and kind of soak up some of the vitamin D and see if, you know, because that of course is going to help me feel better. So, you know, it's going to be a good day. It's definitely going to be a good day. I'm just hoping I can't stand out here too long because I forgot my sunscreen. So, but I did want to give a trigger warning for this video, as I am going to be talking about some pretty heavy stuff. Sexual assault. I was contacted by the DA about a case that I filed back in 2023 involving sexual assault. Now I can't get into many of the details as it is still an ongoing case, but I wanted to stop and say to anybody out there who has gone through something like that, I am so sorry. And the thing of it is that I know there are a lot of people who have gone through some kind of sexual assault or abuse or something to that effect. And I am so very sorry that that happened to you, and it is not your fault. Now, the thing about it is that the day that I was contacted by the DA, you know me, I'm an open book when it comes to my life and such, so I did talk to a lot of people about it because it triggered me really badly. And they even said, you know, even some strangers I talked to, one of my main pieces of advice when it comes to something like this, and I said this when it came to talking about my parents being arrested, talk to anybody, everybody. You know, if they don't want to listen, that's on them. Okay, fine, whatever. Somebody else will listen, I guarantee it, because there's somebody else out there who has gone through something similar. So I talk very much about my feelings, about, you know, my experiences and such. And it's paid out, honestly, because there have been a lot of people, like I said, who have gone through something similar. And one of the ladies I was talking to even said that when that happened to her, it was a long time ago, and she goes, I couldn't talk to anybody. She goes, who do you talk to about that? And I was like, I know, I get it, because a lot of times you deal with the guilt oh, nice, thank you. You deal with the guilt of, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I did something to deserve that. Maybe I shouldn't have done this or this or this or this. That's not true. It is not your fault that this happened. Please remember that. You weren't asking for it in any way, shape, or form. You were trying to be free. You were trying to be yourself. And somebody violated that. Made you start to question every move that you made, everything that you said. It makes you replay everything in your mind. And it's not fair. You shouldn't have to do that. And you certainly did not deserve it, no matter what anybody says. There are a lot of people, unfortunately, out there who like to blame the victim. Even some victims or survivors try to blame the victim. It's not your fault. Many people do that for various reasons. Some of it's projecting, some of it's lack of accountability. But honestly, that's not on you. That's on them. You know, that's one of the things about like society these days sometimes is that sometimes fear is good for profit is one of the things that I've heard quite a few times. And keeping people in fear of being blamed or judged or something like that, honestly, is good for profit. But, I mean, for those of you who have spoke out, who have talked to somebody, anybody, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. And it's very hard to do. Even if it's years down the line, even if it's, decades down the line, if you speak up about it. I mean, look, it took me, 20 years to actually finally confront my parents and bring it out into the light. And it still helped. It still helped inspire others to come forward and speak about things that have happened to them as well. And I know it hurts. Trust me, I know it hurts. And it's hard. Very hard. But it's also very brave. And I said a long time ago that my goal was to tell these stories until these stories no longer exist. Because I want to be able to promote like a place where that can be safe, that can be open, can be loving, non-judgmental. So we don't need any more judgment in society. We've got enough of that. And I mean, I don't care, honestly, what people think of me, because I know there are going to be a lot of people out there that don't like me for speaking out, don't like the way I look, don't like the way I talk. Okay, well, that's on them. They've got the freedom to choose. I'm not going to take that away from them. So, but for the people who do connect with me, awesome. I am so happy to have you here. You have no idea. The sun's playing tricks with me. And I've made it a point in my life, especially now, to surround myself with people who will not judge me, who will not take advantage of me, and who will be supportive and help my growth. And I encourage everybody out there to do the same, because it's been amazing. It's been wonderful. And I was talking to a friend a little bit ago about, leading by example and standing strong. And, it's not easy. And there are many times that I really don't feel strong at all. I really don't. I am curled up on the floor crying, and it took me a long time to figure out that vulnerability is a form of strength as well. In fact, it's one of the strongest forms of strength. To share yourself, to share your heart with somebody takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of security in yourself. And it's not easy to do because there are many people out there, like I said, that will try to use it against you. That's one of the reasons why I've done a lot of videos on accountability, owning your flaws, shadow work, things like that. Those are very, very helpful in making sure that you secure the strength within yourself. That's there. It is there. I know it. I mean, like I said, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're a part of this community makes you incredibly strong, and I am incredibly proud of you. So thank you for being here, and thank you for hearing me out. You know, being triggered is not a bad thing sometimes, depending on how you use it. You notice that if you use it to understand a little bit more about yourself, you know, if there's no one else that you can talk to yourself. Talk to yourself and be understanding and compassionate and caring with yourself in the mirror, you know, or visualize like yourself sitting beside yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but it's helped me incredibly. So thank you again for being here. And if you like my style, like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.